Yo, what is up, my youmostdopeness? Today, we shall come forth together as players of Runescape to defeat this boss we called Araxxor. So, for your yak, all you need to bring is 8 brews and rest rocktails evenly spaced out, and sharpshooter's aura if you're ranging, a dark bow for the shield switch, and of course an Excalibur. Also, you need Araxxi's pheromone to make Araxxor easier because it makes Araxxor weaker to your combat style. So let's go in before this freaking guy take my spot. So, of course, it is path 2 and 3 today, and I'm going to take path 2 because it is generally a lot quicker than 3. So once you start, you would want to pray magic or pray whatever based on Araxxor's legs. So what I mean by legs is that if you look closely after this web, you can see that Araxxor's leg is blue. That means Araxxor is going to be maging and you would want to pray range. So if your Araxxor's leg is red, that means Araxxor is meleeing and you would want to pray melee. And if his Araxxor's legs is green, you would want to pray range because it's going to range. So for Araxxor, it is nothing really that difficult about it. All you have to do is know his magical special abilities that is done once in a while. And what I mean once in a while is that every 3 to 4 hits, you would want to use Anticipate or Freedom to avoid those attacks. Now, what I mean avoid is to make timers like the cocoon it just did a lot quicker. So without it, I would have been stuck there for like a lot more seconds. So it does save a lot of time. So of course I am just going to DPS and look at my timer for Anticipate and Freedom because I just skipped that magical ability and it saved me a lot of DPS time, which helps a lot. So I'm just going to DPS Araxxor down to around 5k because Araxxor heals up if you keep killing it down to 0, which is a DPS waste, which is you don't want to do that because it makes the kills a lot longer. So I'm just going to keep bursting down Araxxor and keep using Anticipation. So as of right there, I used Anticipation a tad bit late and it caused Araxxor to pull me in, which was not cool, but you know, one mistake doesn't really hurt. So when it does pull you in, you got to run away. So I am pulling in Araxxor because it was around 5k-ish HP to this acid pool. So before I talk about the acid pool, you just saw that little explosion at the corner of the map. That means a suicide spider is going to spawn with a little health bar on top, and that means to run away. When it touches you, you're dead and it's game over and you lost the kill. So you don't want to do that. So once we're in the acidic pool, you would want to get Araxxor to around 60% acidic. And what it does is you pull Araxxor all the way east to this little hill thing, and you would want Araxxor to soak the ground in acidic stuff that is soaking up, and it'll break the little platform, which allows you to go to phase 3. So as you can see, I'm pulling up Araxxor right now, and it's telling me that Araxxor is like leaching poison to the ground or whatever like that. It just bursts down Araxxor while hitting up your Anticipation and Freedom. So as you can see, Araxxor's web's over. That means back off. Don't attack it. Back off. Because it reflects all damage back to you. So as of right now, I am not going to DPS anymore because Araxxor will heal back up. So it is time to go to the next stage, which is stage number 3. And it is the last stage before the final stage. So as of right now, you don't really have to do anything special because it's phase 2 and 3, which is the easiest rotation you can do. So as you can see, there is an acidic spider floating around, or we're not floating around, well, walking around, and those acidic spiders are pretty much safe, and they don't have a little health bar on top, which means you can click on them to bait them, and you can feed them to Araxxor. Yes, they do feed into Araxxor, and yes, they do explode, but only to Araxxor, and Araxxor eats them to gain acidic level. and that acidic level is not really important unless you are a noob. And what I mean noob is that the acidic makes Araxxor a lot weaker on the last phase. But if you're more experienced like me, that extra time and extra HP that you have to fight down for feeding that acidic spider is not important. So as of right now, I've just pretty much noticed that I've used 0 food this far, which is pretty much amazing. And I'm trying to soul split to gain a little, gains. But in the long run, I proved myself to be not successful in the last phase. But let's keep bursting Araxxor down to last phase. So Araxxor is at 10k HP, and Araxxor did drop an acidic bomb, which turns into an acidic spider. You can tell by the little splotch on the ground if you're a little confused, and you can tell by the HP bar if you're a little confused, because the safe ones and the dangerous one do look the same, which is really confusing and really scary if you see one. So Araxxor is almost dead. It's at 7k HP, 5k, 4k, 1k, and almost dead. So Araxxor is dead, and it hops over to the final platform in the final stage. And this is where Araxxor evolves into araxxi. And araxxi with the I, not an E. And that is araxxi. So I don't know what it does. I think it squashes it from above, or it comes out of it. I'm not really sure, but let's find them anyways. So araxxi has one special mechanic that it does. Up to 50k HP, it does pull you in and webs over and webs you over, but it also switches from magic and to range. So you do have to prayer switch. So if you're not good at prayer switch, this is the best time to learn how, because that little gray blob right there is range, and that magic thing, or the green thing, is magic. So let's burst down Araxxor back to 50k HP, where it'll not do those pulling in annoying special attacks. So Araxxor's almost down to 50k HP. And boom, I almost died, which is not very cool of Araxxor. So the only thing you do have to know after 50k HP is to watch out for 25k HP. So what I mean by watch out for 25k HP is that you have to use a special ability like Onslaught or like Rapid Fire, but unfortunately I did miss it, and that kind of sucks. So we're just going to keep bursting down Araxxor until it's dead, and it's finally dead! Now there you go, guys. Araxxor is dead, and it's fairly easy to do. As you can see, I didn't even touch my yak, and I'm going to go do another round with the same inventory. So once you touch the loot and look through it, you deposit it and whatever like that, and you're done. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe down below, and peace.